Hi, my name is Wyatt Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about diabetes. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about diabetes, and there's two types of diabetes. You have type 2, which is a whole nother discussion, but what I have is something called type 1 diabetes. Now, it's this big, complex thing that I don't have the time to quite explain, so I'm going to let these guys in this animated video do it for me.
About 10% of people with diabetes have type 1. It's got nothing to do with diet or lifestyle, it just happens. When you have type 1 diabetes, your body attacks the insulin-producing cells in your pancreas, so you can't produce any insulin at all. And we all need insulin to live. It does an essential job. It allows the glucose in our blood to enter our cells and fuel our bodies. When you have type 1 diabetes, your body still breaks down the carbohydrate from food and drink and turns it into glucose. But when the glucose enters your bloodstream, there's no insulin to allow it into your body's cells. More and more glucose then builds up in your bloodstream. So what does this mean? Well, before diagnosis, your body tries to get rid of the glucose through your kidneys, and that makes you wee a lot. Weeing so much leads to another symptom of diabetes, extreme thirst. Because glucose can't enter your cells to give you energy, you'll feel incredibly tired. To try and get energy, the body breaks down fat stores to provide fuel. That's why people often lose weight before discovering they've got type 1 diabetes. These symptoms tend to come on quickly, over just a few days or weeks. Anyone who has these symptoms should see a doctor as soon as possible. If you've got type 1 diabetes, you get insulin into your body by injecting it or using a pump which delivers a constant supply into you. You'll also need to check that your blood glucose levels are not too low or too high by using a blood glucose testing device several times a day. When you start taking insulin, you'll begin to feel better, and your blood glucose levels will go down. This is important because over a long period of time, high glucose levels in your blood can seriously damage your heart, your eyes, your feet, and your kidneys. These are known as the complications of diabetes. But with the right treatment and care, the long-term effects of diabetes and high glucose levels can be managed. You can find out how we can help you manage your diabetes on our website. We're still not sure why some people get type 1 diabetes and others don't, or why the immune system of someone with type 1 attacks the cells that produce insulin. But our researchers are learning more and more about type 1 diabetes, so we can develop new treatments and one day find a cure.
Well, that video is pretty cool, and that's all about the science of type 1 diabetes. But I really want to talk about how I live with type 1 diabetes. Now, there are two main things that I use day by day, minute by minute. Now, one is a glucose meter, also known as a Dexcom. Now, this reads my glucose, or also known as blood sugar, all day long, more like every 5 minutes. And so it goes to my phone, and then I can read it, and it helps me know how much insulin I need to give myself. Second thing I want to talk about is pancreas. Now, I have a pancreas, you have a pancreas, but mine does not work. So I have an artificial pancreas, also known as the insulin pump. So I put this insulin pump in every 3 days by making a little hole into somewhere where I put it, maybe like my leg, and I attach it and it pumps insulin into my body for me. Right, 3, 2, 1. Well, now that we know how the science and technology of type 1 diabetes works, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope this has broke some misconceptions for you. Now, if you have any symptoms of type 1 diabetes, I do recommend going to a doctor as soon as possible because it can get very severe and very serious. But I hope this has helped you educate yourself and know what is type 1 diabetes. So I hope you have a fabulous day.